Time now for Extra Points, where we talk to sports director Frank Cusumano about some of the hot sports topics of the day. And we're going to talk about the Cardinals after a great weekend. Even though they lost on Sunday, they won the series against the world champions.
Yeah, a team that has a payroll $300 million more than they have. And Mike, it's almost like every position player you're feeling really good about right now. You know, what Jordan Walker did, I don't know if you heard on the broadcast, but Brant Brown did an in-game conversation interview with Ricky Horton, and he said they made some adjustments on Thursday with his feet and with his stance. And what does he do? He goes, 4 for 4, then he gets 2 more hits, he gets 2 home runs. He's insane. And you feel good about what you're getting out of second and short, first and third. Even Nolan Gorman, he's headed for 90 RBIs at this pace.
And the pitching held up pretty well, even though they lost on Sunday.
Yeah, I thought, Dustin May, another quality start. That's 5 performances in a row where he's allowed 3 runs or less. McGreevy was spectacular, 6 innings, scoreless.
And he said on the broadcast he didn't feel that great.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. It's stupid to compare him to Greg Maddux because he's one of the greatest of all time. But it's a similar style of pitching where you're not overpowering.
He's not striking people out.
I think he's somewhere, hopefully, he's going to be between Subban and Maddux, and I'll take that because Subban was a good pitcher.
Yeah, and Leahy goes tonight with the Milwaukee Brewers in town. Do you still think that the Brewers are the class of the Central Division?
Well, just when you want to say they're not, they usually turn out that they are. I mean, the Cubs, what they're doing, 11 straight wins at Wrigley's insane. But, the Brewers are always there at the end.
All right, let's talk about the St. Louis basketball Billikens because they had a good recruiting weekend. I'm not sure it was the weekend that they recruited, but their announcements were this weekend.
Yes, first it was Sheik Pearson late last week, 6'11" from Burroughs, who's really going to be a force. And then on Saturday, Jahidi White's son, Jamison, committed to SLU. And Mike, he's 6'9", he's really young, but he shoots threes. And the best part about him is he really wants to be here. He wants to be remembered.
Yeah, you had a soundbite on our 5 o'clock news.
Yeah, look, we're going to remember Scott Highmark and Anthony Bonner and Larry Hughes and Erwin Claggett and Kellen Thames forever because they were St. Louisans that stayed home. I think he's going to have a really good career. We're going to remember Jamison White.
All right, I guess the biggest albatross hanging on the St. Louis sports neck right now are the City SC. They just can't seem to get it together.
Yeah, we thought they could have that massive 2-game win streak, but they got beat yesterday in Austin. And it's unbelievable, Mike. They've played 10 games in the MLS and they have 1 victory to show for it. They get everything right about that organization except the winning on the field.
All right, that's Frank Cusumano, and that's Extra Points.